headmaster's office, our headmaster is just locking up for the night. He smiles, but it's possibly with worry. Hopefully, not about me. Ah, Miss Martin, I'm so glad to see you out of the healing ward. We were all so worried after you and Rafe came back. How are you feeling? A little strung out, to be honest, I say, studying his facial expressions. I want to talk to the Twisted you've been protecting. It's crazy bold, but sometimes you need crazy boldness. Like Theo's rapid-fire questions, a little audacity might just shock Mr. Q into giving into my wild request. The headmaster blinks, his eyes sweeping from me to Rafe, then Kaz. I honestly can't tell if he's scared or just surprised. I'm afraid I'm going to need you all to start from the beginning. He unlocks his door again and we slip inside. Rafe and I sit in the seats across from his desk. Now that some of the adrenaline from the attack has worn off, the memory of our kiss in the woods sends heat through me. A small part of me wants to forget about the difficult discussion ahead and drag him out of the room for a little DTR and some more making out. But first I have to convince Mr. Q to let me try to help the Twisted. Tell him about what happened in the woods, Billy, Cat says, and standing at the thrust over his chest, staff on his back as Mr. Q settles into his desk chair. I drag my lower lip through my teeth. I had another encounter with one of the Twisted. Mr. Q throws up a hand. I'm sorry, you encountered one of the Twisted. He looks at Kaz. Was this a student? Were you able to take care of it? I'm not sure who it was, Kaz says, and it fled before I could direct it to the holding area. This is its second attack. I glare at him. Appearance at the school, he amends. I'm fairly certain this particular Twisted goes into when I found Billy in the fields near Locklear. I plan to look for it after we're finished here. Dragging a hand through his hair, Mr. Q sighs and looks back at me. I apologize for the interruption. Please continue. It asked for help. Our headmaster's eyes pop. Asked for help. I think so. I adjust a little in my seat, hating how uncertain this statement sounds. I mean, yes. Yes, it did. It was a little hard to hear under all the yelling and pain, but I know that's what I heard. And if I can communicate with them, then maybe they're still in there. Maybe they're not stuck that way. Miss Martin, Mr. Q trails off, then shakes his head. We have dealt with the Twisted with medium. None of them have been able to communicate with them. I dislike clinging to pessimism, but I don't want false hope. But it can't hurt to let her try and talk to them, right? Rafe asks. I could give him a big sloppy kiss for that, but I decided to maintain some small amount of decorum. Making out with another student in the headmaster's office probably won't help me convince him that my plan to help the Twisted is a solid one. It's far too dangerous, Mr. Q says, and if I allow you to go speak to them, you might get dragged into their shadows. It's not a risk I'm willing to take. So you're just going to let them stay down there, wherever that is. My jaw aches, pulsing along with that stupid pounding in my head as my temper thins out. Mr. Q frowns, the lines on his face deepening. We're working on a solution. More specifically, the staff is working on a solution. Trust me. None of us wants to leave them in the state they're currently trapped in. What I won't do is send a student anywhere near that holding area. My eyes sting and I stand much faster than I mean to. I'm already at risk since I can't find my body. Why I can't? That's my final word, Miss Martin. Mr. Q frowns, then smooths out his tone to say, I'm sorry. This is so unfair. I swallow a growl and push past Kaz into the hallway. Before I say something epically stupid that burns every bridge I've made so far. I'm halfway to the dorms by the time Rafe catches up. He doesn't say anything as we continue to walk, and after a few moments in his presence, my anger eases up a bit. I sigh. On a scale of after-school special to reality TV, how ridiculous was my storming out? Rafe laughs, maybe somewhere in the middle. I don't blame you, though. Wanting to help and not being able to is the worst feeling, trust me, I know. Reaching for his hand, I lace my fingers with his. I'm sorry, you've got enough on your brain without having to worry about all of this. I should this is important too, because if I ever get twisted, I definitely want someone to talk to. Rafe winks. But you know I'm going to help you, right? Just because Mr. Q won't tell us where they're keeping the Twisted doesn't mean we give up. Yasmin and I are still looking at those blueprints. Maybe they'll find whatever this holding area is and we can go ourselves. Or my brain whirs as another crazy idea hits me. We could search for the one we